Hey, got a a quick game I just played. Here lately, I've been playing on X-Mage a little bit. It's not bad, but it's getting some taking some getting used to. And unfortunately, it doesn't do replay options, so I can't I don't know. It's really tough with the family trying to record live and whatnot. So, anyways, here's the list that I have as of right now. You know what? I'll resize this. There we go. List that I'm doing right now. The only real big change here lately is one Magus of the Moon and one Magus of the Moat instead of just two. I think Magus or Magus, I don't know, whichever. So, anyways, I played against Valakut, and so here's game one. Yeah, this is I've forgotten about it and I changed it real quick before I started, and just so happened I was playing against Valakut. So I'm going first. I gotta mull this hand because I have no land, and that's not a good thing. So, again, not a great hand. I don't have any colored mana, and I don't want to rely on that bauble to draw me into colored mana. And otherwise, I'm stuck with those two in hand and no real action going on. So, yeah. Mulligan again. And I'm like, well, this is kind of the best I'm going to get. At least I'll have Infernal Tutor online quick as long as I draw another land, right? So I scry, and I can't remember what was on top. Bauble. Yeah, and I put it on the bottom. So anyways, here we go. Yeah, play it out. And opponent is on Scapeshift, and they got, it's going. So I had to explain how to do this. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of cards going on here. Yep. And I start exiling stuff. Kitty cat, get up there. And again, still stuck on one mana. I go for the Inquisition. I already figured they were on Scapeshift. So the only target I can take is Bolt, which, I guess is something. And just milling like crazy to try to empty out all the mountains they got, or anything I can. If I can draw two lands, I should be just fine. I think. It would be super sweet. Yeah, I start piling them all underneath. Yeah, and second bridge doesn't help me. Yeah, so in response to this, I go ahead and try it again because I figure, okay, maybe I'll get their Titans underneath. It's a chance. Or mill a Titan. No, I did not. So here comes a Titan, and here comes those two. So I'm like, okay, I might still be able to live if I can freaking draw a. I figure if I can draw a land, two lands in a row, I should be fine. Because I'll draw that. I'll draw the land and do this to gain some life, and I don't care. Kill off a creature and discard. But I don't. I'm like, okay, well now I should be able to filter my draws to draw a land. But I have to live through this first. So here it comes. Yeah. And in response to trigger, yeah, they didn't let me respond. I was like, no, in response to trigger. And so I'm trying to exile their stuff. And just kind of hoping that it works out. I had land there with the Shredder. But no, they get the two Stomping Grounds still. And it's going to freak out here in a sec. Because I flip. And I did get one of those. And one mountain off of that one. And the other one. Yeah, I got another one. And another mountain. But yeah, it's not enough. So, game 2. I think this is game 2. I don't remember. Or is this game 2? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is game 2. Yeah. Alright, so I keep, because I got the quarter and a surgical and the brutality. So I can surgical some part of the combo here. And opponent's got a decent hand here. And I draw a Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's not bad at all, I guess. So, Thoughtseize there. Now, here I was trying to figure out what was correct to grab. I think the Pact is the correct choice because this requires that they draw, a creature and they get the mana to do it. So by then I might be able to survive with a bridge if I draw one. Beast Within, I have a welding jar, so they're not going to destroy an artifact, or if they do, at least I have some sort of backup for that. And if they do try to kill their own land, then I can Ghost Quarter in response and stop that, or a bridge will just stop that too. Pact, however, will get them one of either a Titan, Primeval Titan, or a Reclamation Sage. And either way, like Rex Sage will make it so if I grab the Beast Within, then they still get the Rex Sage, or they just get Titan and kill me. So I figure Summoner's Pact is the correct choice here. And I figured I should be able to discard the something else with Collective Brutality if I have to. And then they draw a Shatterstorm. So again, I go for discard mode just to see what's going on. I see Shatterstorm, and I'm like, well, that sucks. Guess I'm getting Shatterstorm. Yeah. Now, during their draw phase, I go ahead and Ghost Quarter the Valakut, and then Surgical the Valakut. So now they're not going to kill me with Valakuts, but it does let me see, now they have an Ancient Grudge in their hand too. That sucks. And I see they have 2 Chalice of the Voids. I sideboarded out my Abrupt Decays, and I did not sideboard in a Seal. I see another Ancient Grudge, and the 2 Rex Sages that I expected. There's another Shatterstorm, which is not cool for me. So, but the good news is their only way to kill me now is beatdown. So that's not so bad. So if I can land a bridge and somehow keep it out, I should be okay. These cats are going nuts. Kiki. I could see if they had done Ancient Grudge to kill both of these, to kill off that, but I don't know, I don't know. No, because then I could, in response, sack that and save the Opal. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked out. So play Ghost Quarter. Just trying to get something going now. Now I'm going to start getting life. And they go to Beast Within their own land. Like, no, I considered it. Like, but I was like, you know what? I don't have a bridge. And I know that they have an Ancient Grudge. So if I let this happen and I try to rely on a bridge, I know the bridge isn't going to survive because they have Ancient Grudge. So I have to not let them have a threat. So in response, I go ahead and Ghost Quarter it. And start milling. Because I know they have another Ancient Grudge, but I'm just trying here, I accidentally drew an extra card there. So now I got this, so that's good. Yeah, they kill it. In response, I go ahead and exile. And in response to them killing that, I go ahead and mill them 1. So here I figure, okay, Surgical and then tutor for something. And Surgical will give me information on what to tutor. So I go ahead, I believe I Surgical the packs, yeah. Because that way they actually have to draw into their creatures. And they only have 7 creatures in the deck if you include Emrakul. and that's not a whole lot. So, oh well, I guess I didn't include these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures out of 35 cards. So, and 4 of them aren't really that big of a deal. And I have to do it now. I would normally want to do it during the draw phase, but I have to do it now so that I can use this Infernal Tutor. Yeah. So I go ahead and grab my bridge. What is my opponent top deck? A Chalice of the Void. So now I can't cast bridge. That's boom. So Stirrings into a Lantern. I'm getting something going at least. Yeah, go ahead and get rid of that. And fortunately, they do have a lot of dead draws here. So I'm just trying to draw into something quicker than they do. And fortunately, Inventor Sphere is going to keep me alive past that Sakura Tribe Elder. So I sack Lantern to make them shuffle. Those cats, man. Alright, so now I can start getting my mill rocks back and start gaining control. Yeah, in response to that, I have to make them shuffle with my second Lantern because there was another Chalice, and if they sell Chalice to 1, I am done for. That's it, I lose. So I can still survive with the Chalice on 3 here. So get my Lantern back. They got another Tribe Elder on top, so slightly faster clock, I suppose. And I know I need to watch out for the other Ancient Grudge and the Emrakul. So I go for Pixis first. That, and the reason I go for Pixis also is because I can play bridge, let it get countered, put it back on top, use Pixis to exile it, and then sack Pixis to put it into play. And I'm saving up that Opal so I can get that 7th mana. I gotta remember this, 75, 76. Yep. So I go to mill, and in response, they were thinking about sacking that, but if they did, and I mean, that might be the correct thing to do, but this is the only clock they got, so. So just trying to get up to that 7th mana, and I don't want to, so I go ahead and play bridge and let it get countered. Now put bridge on top, exile it, get rid of that Shatterstorm. So now both Shatterstorms are gone. And now I should be able to draw into another land or 7th mana with this Bauble and my Mill Rocks. So that's what I'm going for now. Yep. Exile, there's my 7th mana on top. There's an Opal. So sack that. I'd forgotten which ones. It was these 2 right here, but whatever. So this and this should have actually not come into play. And that's a Bauble and a Titan, so it doesn't matter. So yeah. So triggers, they could not look and just get the Emrakul, but the Emrakul doesn't matter as long as I have a bridge. So get stuff into play. I do not want them. I remember I sided out my removal for Chalice, so once a Chalice is set, that's it. I can't do anything about it. So I have to get rid of that Chalice. So I Ghost Quarter and hope that they shuffle. And they do. If they don't, I would have had to mill. And hope that nothing good was on top. So they're trying to sack and shuffle. There's an Ancient Grudge, but now I have Academy Ruins, and I can get Pixis back into play. I could have saved that Inventor's Fair. It might have been the correct play. I also have an Infernal Tutor here, so what I could start doing is looping Codex Shredder for Infernal Tutor to grab anything and everything I want. Which, I mean, it could be a correct play. So, by the way, my opponent tries to shuffle. Well, no, I mill. My opponent tries to shuffle, so I don't. Or I try to exile Ancient Grudge. Opponent shuffles, so I shuffle happens. It turns out being Emrakul. There we go. Emrakul gets exiled, and there's an Ancient Grudge, and I have to get rid of it. So I go ahead and mill it. I know that he only has 2. He's already used 1, so I just need the next card to not be artifact removal, because the jar can take care of that one. Next card is artifact removal, so now I have to sack my lantern and hope that they don't draw removal. Yeah, so they draw Escape Shift. Woo! I believe they only had 1 card left in there. There was that 1 out of 7 chance. So now I just put Lantern back on top. Yeah. And that's it. There's my Magus. I don't want it now, because now my lands are better than theirs. So I go ahead and put Welding Jar back on top. And Welding Jar will stop the Reclamation Sage. That and the mill, so. So game 3. That was rough. So game 3, I did bring in, I believe I brought in 1 Seal of Primordium. This whole game plan, what I did was, you know what? I'll show what I did. There, I took out these. I took out these. I believe I took out all of those, put in 2 Thoughtseize. I put in the Surgical, put in Welding Jars. I believe I brought out Needles. Is that what I did? Oh, and 3 Ley Lines. There we go. So this was my sideboard. Wait, no, I forgot the Magus. So, oh yeah. There we go. I took out 1 Bell. So yeah, this was my sideboard plan against them. So here's game 3. Keep. Bridge, Leyline, early discard. Now, in hindsight, I misplay here, and I need to remember not to make this mistake again. I cast Thoughtseize immediately. What I should have done is waited until at least turn 2. Yeah, because all that gives me is a Farseek. Bolt doesn't matter. And so basically their Farseek just became a shock that I paid for. And lost a card. So I'm still good. I can Ghost Quarter their Valakut, even if they somehow destroy a Ley Line. There's Bridge. Take some damage. And I do this first. My top 5 cards aren't that great. It's Opal, Tutor, Surgical, Stirrings, and a Bauble. So I grabbed the Opal because that'll let me use and do Inventor's Fair. And if I have to, it'll give me an extra white mana and whatnot, or red mana if I need it, or whatever. So yeah, which matters because now they Summoner's Pact for a Reclamation Sage to get rid of my Ley Line. Yeah. So here, what I do, if I'm not mistaken, is I use Fair. Go get Shredder. Play Shredder, because now what I want to do is sack Shredder to get back my Ley Line. Yeah, what I do first is I mill myself to try to set everything up. Because I can't play Ley Line yet, so I know it's going to take an extra turn. So I go ahead and play this Shredder for now. And now at the end of my opponent's turn, I want to sack this and get Leyline so I can play Leyline on my next turn. So yeah. Play Leyline. We're good. So now I start milling myself, and because I know that my opponent has more dead cards than I do. And since I have Shredder online now, I can start blind milling myself to use Shredder for an activation. And sure enough, I hit a Ruins. So now I'm going to be able to get Ruins online. Sack Shredder, get Ruins. And a Jar. I naturally draw a Jar too. So now, Shredder back and keep doing the self-mill with Ruins online. Now, it could have been correct to just draw stuff here, or sack Shredder to get Stirrings or something like that, but there's a Lantern, and we're good. We're golden. I've got pretty much the lock, and I have an Infernal Tutor coming up. So now I can just loop Infernal Tutors and get whatever I want. Ooh. So yeah, that's it. Holy cow, that was a game, right? Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah.